socket steel wreck. We're going to be comparing. I've got three Mako 3s, 2 Champ and 1 Star. They're about the same weight as the the Magnolias that I'm going to do as well. I've got 3 Magnolias. They're all around the 170 to 180 range, so the weights aren't going to be any difference at all. So we're going to show you the big difference between a Magnolia and the Mako 3 and why I took the Mako 3 out of my bag, because it's really the first mid-range that I really, well, the second mid-range that I really enjoyed throwing. So yeah, let's fight the mosquitoes and we'll go throw. Alright, so we're going to do mostly backhand throws. I'll throw some forehands. I didn't really, I don't throw the Mako 3. I didn't throw the Mako 3 forehand a lot. And I don't throw the Magnolia forehand a lot. I typically only forehand very overstable mid-ranges because they can handle the torque a little more. So I mean, I can forehand these. You just have to have more finesse, and that's why I don't like to have to forehand these, because I like to be able to not have to overthink what I'm doing and just throw a normal forehand and be fine. So that's why I like the bow bob or something else that's really overstable, ABR X3s or something like that. That's why those are very handy and useful. So that's what I mostly forehand. So we'll try some though. We'll hit some trees for sure. I think those were all really good releases, but we'll see. Okay, so upon the first couple of throws, a couple bad ones, hadn't practiced. A lot of them are pretty much right here together. You've got Mako 3, Magnolia, Mako 3, Mako 3, and the furthest was the Magnolia. So I always suspected that the Magnolia flew a little further for me. We'll throw some more to make sure that that's actually true, but not a whole lot of difference in flight, so we'll do some upshots with these and see which one does better. Wasn't for that, that would have made it there. So I tend to trust the Magnolia more on low ceilings, just because it seems to handle the glide a little better. Mako 3s just don't seem to have quite as much glide as I want from them to continue penetrating and keeping that glide to keep going forward. They just kind of want to stall out a little bit, whereas the Magnolia just kind of keeps going. Like, even though I hit that limb there, that would have been a perfect shot had I not hit that, obviously, but that's player error. So you notice I threw the Mako 3s a lot lower, so maybe I'll throw one of them as well, and I'll show you from that same spot what it would be like if I threw a Mako 3 and why I don't throw Mako 3s on low ceilings. Alright, now we're on a much wider hole. Much wider. I'm on much more of a extreme hyzer. And hopefully none of these flip over on me and wind up in the water. So you can see I babied some of these. I was a little afraid to go in the water. Started powering up a little more over here. This new run is definitely, well, this first run is definitely able to keep up with the this Mako 3. I put a lot more behind that one, mostly because I'm not as afraid to lose it. I mean, there's water right over there, so that's definitely a valid excuse, but we're gonna go rip some more. I think this Mako is definitely more comparable to that one. That one was fun. There you go. I don't know how far that is, but it seems like I have to put more power on the Mako 3 or give it more height. But if you give it too much height, it just wants to stall out on you. But just like it needs more power than the Magnolia doesn't need as much power to get the same distance. Even if I throw it flat, it still glides forever. It's just very friendly. How you doing? Basket's right there. I don't know if I'm ready. ceiling. Oh, I've never been so hot and miserable filming anything in my life. This is so tough. My hands are so clammy, so my grip is shit. Alright, so you got a Magnolia there. I definitely figured that one will be there because it's the Amy Lewis. It's a little more flippy, a little more easier to manipulate on turn and flat. So, and this is an uphill shot into a downhill with water. So, definitely want more the flippy Amy Lewis on that. Pretty close battle in my opinion with these discs. They're not hugely different. There's not a huge difference in the way they look. The Magnolia's got a bead where the Mako 3 doesn't. But side by side comparison, you really can't tell a huge difference in them. Flight is the only slight difference. The Mako 3s that I have seem to be able to handle a little more power. Well, I don't know if they can handle more power. I don't know where I'm going with this. So pretty much just what I was thinking with these. The Mako 3, you definitely need a little more, I think it requires just a little bit more power to get the same distance that I'm getting with the Magnolia, and I think that's why I like it so much, because I know that if I overpower Magnolia, it's going to flip on me, or go straight if I want it to. Maybe we'll go to a field. I could feel the dehydration kicking in because it's so humid. There's not a huge advantage or disadvantage with either of them. You throw any one of these, you're gonna love it. I mean, if you have never thrown a Mako 3, and you're gonna love a Magnolia, because everybody that's thrown a Mako 3 loves a Mako 3. So, I wouldn't say it's the same disc, but I'm telling you, you won't really know the difference that much. And forehand wise, I don't throw them, either of them. They're both very touchy. You gotta throw it flat, and you have to really control that angle and that arm speed. So that's why I only throw them backhand. So I'm not saying it's not good for forehands. It definitely can handle it. I just don't like having to overthink. All right, keep it flat, this much arm speed, this much angle. You putting too many variables in there, it can be a little inconsistent. So hopefully somebody found this informative. If not, whatever, I don't really care. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. All right, I'm hot. You can go away now.